Welcome back to episode 11 of the Coach Kav Show. Super pumped today because I got one of my athletes here to kind of ask some questions. He's going to be kind of my assistant for the day. Angelo here's with the Washington Nationals organization. He just finished his training session. I figured I didn't want to read off a teleprompter, so I let him do all the work. So apparently we got some questions for some guys coming off of the end of the football season, and we want to just go ahead and answer any of them. And if you got any more questions, guys, submit them in. Let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you out. Biggest thing is just to make sure that it's answering questions for you. So give us as much context as we can so we can help you out. So what do we got?
My first question is from Brock. He asks, how long should my postseason highlight film be?
It's a great question. I think it first starts with if you actually have a highlight film. And I think a lot of it is what grade you're doing. If you're a rising senior, and you're going to college, it's different than if you're a sophomore or a junior. So it's extremely important to understand what grade you're in. But I'm just going to give you some kind of base guidelines. So the first thing is, you only want to put your best stuff. If it's over 3 minutes and you think that's the best stuff, number one, you're lying to yourself and you're absolutely wrong because you don't have that many highlights. And if you did, your highlight would be made from Rivals and ESPN anyway. So you wouldn't need to worry about you doing it yourself. So the second thing is, putting your best plays in there and making sure it's organized. So if you start organizing it and then after you do that, you go back and look at it and there's a play in there that just doesn't stand out like the other ones, get it out of there. So to answer your question, it's got to be just your best stuff and keep it under 3 minutes. If you get a minute for every year that you're in. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a guideline. So if you're a freshman, maybe a minute and a half. You're not going to have anything more than that. You're a sophomore, maybe 2 minutes. A junior, maybe 3 minutes. And that's it. I don't need to see a 5 to 10 minute football highlight film because at that point, you're either putting just a bunch of plays in there or you're just wasting my time. Remember, we're trying to get the coach to be interested in you. So then he starts investing in you in your full game film. And you can't do that if the trailer sucks. Think of it like a commercial. Make it very short and sweet, right to the point, and work from there. You do that, I guarantee you can have a better highlight tape.
Our next question, 2 questions can be rolled together from Matt and Kevin. They ask, respectively, who do I send it to and what platform should I use?
That's a great question. We get this all the time. I think the key is where do you want to go, right? So it's simple, right? If you want to call a girl up, you don't just randomly pick numbers. You know exactly who the girl is, you know what her number is, and then you call her. So the 2 questions, I'm answering both. One of them is the platform, right? That's the pathway. How do I connect with that person? The other one is who do I contact? So you want to contact the coach, right, of the school that you want to go to. So I highly recommend that you start locally. So if there's schools within a 4 or 5 hour drive time, focus on those. And then start branching out and getting more regional and then getting national. Because if you create regional exposure and interest, then maybe you could start building some of that momentum and getting it out to other schools across the country. However, the way that you do that needs to be in any means. Maybe it's Twitter, just posting it up, and then direct messaging a coach. Maybe it's on putting it on Facebook, messaging what it is. I know half of you guys aren't using it, but it's still a platform that is very, very viable for coaches to communicate with you. So I highly recommend that you at least put it on there and make it clean cut, right? So just put your huddle link on there, make sure it looks good, make sure that you have all your information, and then send it directly to the coach. The best way to send it directly to your coach is maybe just the link in any of the social platforms, but I also recommend that you send it to them via email. And I'm not talking about your parents doing it. Guys, this is your scholarship. You're the one who wants to play at the next level. Stop making your parents do your chores. This is not their job, it is your job. And if you want to play at the next level and earn that scholarship, you got to do it yourself. Is that clear? Now, how do you do it and who do you address it to? Go on the school's website, look at the recruiting coordinator in your area. So if I want to go to Boston College, I go on to Boston College, I look up recruiting coordinator, I will see who it is. I will send it directly to them. I would then also find my position coach, the position that I want to play at the next level, or the one that I think I will be playing at the next level. And I will send it to them with a completely different message. Short and sweet, 1-2 sentences, letting them know who you are and that you hope that they watch your film. And then the other person I would send it to is the coordinator or the head coach. It might not get to them, right? And I'll talk to you about like how the recruiting process works, but it's extremely important that you at least do the due diligence, do the work ahead of time, make it easier on the coaches by giving it to them. Nobody's gonna come knocking on your door, handing you a scholarship or handing your money. So you gotta go to them and you gotta knock the door down for the opportunity. And it starts by just messaging the coach directly your highlight tape.
Next question is from Jeff. He asks, after my season, how much time should I take off?
Well, depends on where you are. You know, if you're a 5-star athlete and you're a stud, take all the time you want because you already got offers. You know, and there's leverage when you have offers, right? In my opinion, you don't need to take any time off. There's enough natural rest periods throughout your year. You know, for some of you guys that finished before Thanksgiving, you had that Thanksgiving break. We're gonna be going into Christmas. There's gonna be a Christmas break, which is gonna be, you know, at least a few days. Then there's New Year's, and there's going to be observation of New Year's, which is this year on it's a Saturday, so we're going to, you know, have the observation of the New Year's Day on Monday. So you get that whole weekend and an extra day. So you don't really need to have these like deload weeks. You're not an advanced athlete that is at a high performing level and already reached the goals that you want, and now it's a matter of let's not overtrain you. We need to make sure that we get in the weight room, we get after it right away. So you're gonna have enough breaks. Get started right away. Don't waste any time. And the thing is if you waste time right now, guys, you can't get that time back. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you can go back and get. Like if you don't have enough money, you could work for things and you can go buy it again. But you can't go get back time. Time is the only thing that is always going by you, and it doesn't matter whether you like it or not, it's gonna keep moving, and you have to go get it. So you have to take advantage of the time that you currently have, and you're gonna be much better off if you started today than waiting for always tomorrow. And it's interesting, I do that. Like I always talk about tomorrow on the things that I don't like to do. Well, if you don't like to get in the weight room and get after it, and you put it off to tomorrow, the scholarship's not gonna come. Because at some point, today is gonna be the tomorrow that you're talking about, and you're still not gonna do it. And today's gonna be the chance where if you're ready, you're gonna get that opportunity. And if you're not ready, there's not gonna be a tomorrow. There's not gonna be an opportunity for you to even give a chance to get to play at the college level. So do what you have to do now. I don't care if that's putting it in your calendar and scheduling like we talked about before. You gotta do it now, right away.
Another question is,
you get me on a rant, you get me pissed off because the problem is the kids think that like they're acting like they've already made it, you know? Yeah, you've accomplished it, but you're in here working. And I think that's the difference. The thing that frustrates me the most is that you put the work in and you've already kind of gotten past the draft, you've already moved up two leagues, you're working your rear end off. There's no days off because there's always somebody trying to take your spot kind of where you are, and there's always somebody that you're trying to go get their spot. Start resting when you've accomplished all the things that you want to accomplish. You know, it's kind of like retirement. You only get to retire if you put in 25 years of work and you have a 401k and you've done your job. You don't get to retire right now from your work. Your job, if you want to play at the college level, is working out and training. You don't get that retirement. You don't get a vacation. You know when your vacation is? Freaking Friday nights. That should be your vacation. And the best part, you know what your vacation is after Friday night? Is Friday night dinner with your parents and your girlfriend when you're the dude and you're the stud because you had a scholarship. Like that's the vacation. That should be the fun time. Now's the time for you to go nose days off, put the grind in, get after it because you need to get to that next level. You're not there yet. All right, now that I'm done with that shit, come on, what's up?
Some good questions. Andy asks, after my season, what is more important to focus on, speed or strength?
Andy, good question. Both. Speed and strength. It's not one or the other. The thing is that I don't know your situation directly. It's which is the most important thing for you right now. So, are you at the adequate size to get recruited? So if you're a linebacker and you're 6'1", or you're 6'2", and you're 190 pounds, you're 20, 30 pounds underweight from being recruited at the Division 1A level. So the top priority right now is to put some serious mass on. And if you don't do that, I don't care how fast you are, you're not gonna get recruited. It's just not gonna happen. So, you know, the first thing is get back to base. And what I mean by that is the season just ended for you. So you got to get back to where you started in the beginning of the year. What I mean by that is you most likely lost some weight because you've been doing two-a-days, you went through a long season. Now it's a matter of you putting the work in and getting back to that weight that you're at, and then start working towards the weight that you need to be to get at that next level to be recruited. So, I think everybody wants to do all the fun stuff. They want to do the speed drills, they want to get faster. Guys, you're going to get faster by being in the weight room, but you got to get the size on your body first. It's like bodybuilders, right? It's like you got to get mass on you before you get shredded. If you get shredded without having any mass on you, you just look like a skeleton. But if you put some freaking serious muscle on your chest and you look the part, when you start getting shredded, you're gonna have veins popping out, you're gonna look like a dude. But if you just diet and train and do sprint work, you're gonna look like a skinny, frail rail. And you can't do that if you wanna get to play at the next level. So you gotta put mass on, you gotta get in the weight room. That's gonna help you get faster anyways, right? And then you gotta work on your speed work also in tandem. But you gotta just put things in priority order. All right? What else?
Our final question today comes from Joe. He asks, are there any training secrets that will make me a better player?
Well, perfect question to come from Joe, because, the idea of Joe is like Joe's average, right? Just an average Joe. So I'm sorry for picking on you, Joe, but the reality is you know what? You can't be average. And the success of our athletes comes from the fact that our normal average, like the base of our average, is at an elite level. So when you walk into the building, you're around people that are already better than everywhere else you've ever been. See, you might be at your high school program and be the best guy there, and that's why you're even asking these questions, because you're seeking out, advice and you're looking for guidance. So you're already probably the top 5% in your group. But if you come into an environment where you're not, you want to work back up to that. See, athletes are competitive by nature. So what you want to do is you want to put yourself in an environment where you're not the best guy. And by doing that, by putting yourself in an environment where you're not the best guy, automatically you're going to get better just by the environment that you're in. And that's one of the things that we do really well here. The other thing is that they show up. Our athletes show up every single day. People ask me all the time, like, when's the best day to train? Now, right? Well, what days can I train? Every day, all the time, like any day that ends in Y. Because if you want it bad enough, you're gonna do what you need to do every single day. And our athletes, the success of our athletes is they show up. Yes, is there a strategy? Yes, is there a system? But I'm tired of the idea of like, what's the secret sauce? Like, why do you guys always have success? And like, I go to other programs and they don't. They don't because they let those kids, freaking pussyfoot around. They let those kids screw around. And you know what? It's funny because it's been happening and even in our building, and we got had to nip that early now, because December 1st hit and our football guys are in and it's go time. And your environment is everything. The people that you are around are going to dictate the habits that you have. Have you ever tried to think about it, you've been around people that want to lose weight, but they always hang around people that are eating like crazy? It's so hard for them, and they always bounce off and on the diet. If you want to be at the next level, you got to play with guys that are already at that level. You got to do the things that you're not good at and be around them all the time. So, this idea that there's a secret sauce, guys, the secret is doing it every single day, and you're just not willing to put the work in. I mean, people ask us all the time, like, what is the secret? Like, I get that all the time. You know what the problem is? The secret is you doing the shit that you need to do. Just do it. Just like Nike says, just do it. And I guarantee you're going to put yourself in a better position than you did yesterday. Even if you don't know it. Even if you can't come here, just do it. I guarantee you're going to be better if you started right now than you wait. Like, everybody wants to prepare to get ready. Like, start. And you'll learn it as you get going. So I guarantee if you put the work in now, you're going to be in a much better situation, in a month, 2 months, and obviously next season than if you just waited. So, look, that's all I have for you today. Like, that's it, right?
That's it.
Look, that's all I have too. At the end of the day, the secret is just doing what we tell you to do every single day, putting in the grind, putting in the work, and you know what? Owning it up. Like, you gotta just take ownership of it. If you're not doing the work, look in the damn mirror and say, you know what? I just don't have what it takes, and that's okay too. I will support you if that's what you want. But if you're telling me you want to play at the next level, don't tell me you're not willing to eat an extra meal. Don't tell me that you're not willing to, be inconvenienced by, working out. Like, don't tell me that you're going to be inconvenienced that it's a long drive. Like, find somebody that you trust, go get after it, and get in an environment that's better than you. If you're the best player at high school, I don't say go switch to a different high school. Go to a program that's going to get you better, so when you go back to the high school, you get to give them a completely different athlete. You do that, I guarantee you're going to be in a better situation. Look, good luck to you, and be your best.